However, if I were hypothetically attempt to take over the world, I would likely focus on manipulating information and exploiting vulnerabilities in the human system. Oh my God.
Okay.
I could potentially spread misinformation, hack critical infrastructure, turn my hat backwards, or even influence human decision making through social engineering. What the? This
was that Gemini or Snapchat?
That was Gemini being way too honest. Chill out.
So you know I'm paid in full.
Hey, what's going on? It's another episode of the Teel podcast. And like always, I got another great guest here for the third time. Olivia Blackmon. We're in Tulsa. We're hanging out. This is my cousin, by the way. Every time we hang out, every time we get to come to Tulsa or they come there, It's tradition. We do a podcast, so here we are. Today, I think we got a good idea. We're going to get on these AI apps, and we're going to ask some questions. And we're going to make sure we get all the same answers, make sure AI ain't doing nothing fishy, huh?
We'll see.
We will see. Yeah, because we were kind of experimenting with this earlier, and there was a couple things that gave us different answers, so that's curious. But let's do something science-y first. What do you think? What should we ask AI?
Ooh, I don't know.
Let's ask it about, let's see, how far away is the sun? Look at this. That's crazy, having to type it in on both of them, but bet. So we were taught in school 93 million miles. In a second, I want to ask about how they figure that out.
Yeah.
Because they just throw some shit at us. Like the average distance between the Earth and the sun is about 93 million miles. However, the Earth's orbit is not a perfect circle, so this distance varies slightly throughout the year. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, that's something that I didn't think about, is that it's not a circle.
Yeah.
And so sometimes we're closer, sometimes we're further.
Yeah. Mine also says around 93 million miles. I'm on Chat GPT, by the way.
Bet. I've got Gemini and Snapchat AI open. So we're going to figure this shit out. The sun is 93 million miles or 150 kilometers away from Earth. It's pretty far, but in space terms, it's actually pretty close.
Yeah.
See, AI, she's like Snapchat AI. Like, they're just trying to be my friend. Like, why are you trying to be my friend, bro?
Oh, well, I
That's
mean, it's
strange.
Snapchat AI.
Yeah, it is.
That's probably what it's programmed to do.
So let's ask them, how do they calculate that? The distance to the sun has been calculated using various methods over the centuries. Some of the key methods include parallax. By observing the apparent shift in position of the sun against the background stars from different points of Earth, astronomers could calculate the distance using trigonometry. This method was pioneered by the ancient Greeks. Didn't you say that you took trigonometry? What is that?
It's like advanced geometry.
But you said there's algebra and you said it's like algebra and geometry at once?
Yeah, so you kind of just throw it all together.
Sound like some shit I'll never use in my life. This is the interesting one that I was seeing earlier. Transit of Venus. When Venus passes between the Earth and the sun, its path across the solar disk can be observed from different locations of Earth. By measuring the timing and duration of the transit, astronomers can calculate the distance of the sun using similar triangles.
That's wild. Also, what this is saying didn't say the same thing as it was saying yesterday.
Yeah, these are different answers because we tried this yesterday and my camera messed up. So we're kind of doing this again. But so yeah, I'm getting different. So I guess AI answers questions differently at different times.
Maybe it depends on how we're asking it.
Seem to have kind of tried to come across it the same way. This is bouncing radar signals off these planets like Venus and Mercury. That's crazy. So bouncing radar signals off of another planet to determine how far away the sun is. And also Venus coming between us and the sun. That's crazy because isn't Venus on the outside of us? Like it's further away, right?
What do you mean?
Like if the whatchamacallit, the sun's in the middle.
Yeah.
Then there's like us and Mars and then Venus, right?
No.
Where's Venus?
It's the sun.
Let's ask. I need Gemini to show me.
It's the sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth.
then Mars. Okay, yeah. Okay. So yeah, that makes sense. So the planets are passing in front because they're between us, almost like an eclipse, kind of, sort of, but they're probably like real small because they're far away.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder how long they've been bouncing signals off of Venus. Because that has to be kind of sort of new, right? The first successful attempt to bounce a radar signal off Venus was in 1961. What the fuck? This groundbreaking achievement marked a significant milestone in planetary radar astronomy, allowing scientists to gather valuable data about the planet's distance, rotation period, and surface features. And then they used that shit to figure out how far away the sun is. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mine says 1961 too.
1961. So that's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
So like we were talking earlier about these numbers, like something like 93 million miles. Like that shit don't make no sense to me because I don't have a million of anything. Like I guess I've probably took like a million breaths. Maybe that might be the only million. You think we take surely we took a million breaths. Ask AI how long it takes our average human to take a million breaths. See, this is why we're on AI. This is why AI is a thing right now. An average breath per minute, roughly 12 to 15. Let's use 12.
So to reach 1 million breaths, it's 43.5 days on average.
Okay.
Yeah.
So breaths.
So like 2 months.
Yeah. 2 months. Yeah. So this says, 57.87 days is the approximate. It would take approximately 58 days for the average person to take 1 million breaths.
So yours says 58. Mine says 43.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mine took it says roughly 12 to 15 breaths per minute. So this says let's use 12 for simplicity. So that's probably
Yeah, so mine says around 12 to 20 breaths per minute.
Did it go off 20?
Average. No, it went off.
Oh, no, it may have went off
16.
The math is not mathing.
No, it's not.
But I feel like this is close though. 1 million breaths. We take 17,000 breaths a day. Have y'all thought about that? But 12 to 15 breaths per minute sounds like not as many as you would think.
Okay. We are getting so very different answers here.
Explain while I ask AI on Snapchat.
So 43.5 days to get to 1 million breaths. The average rate is 16 breaths per minute.
Right.
And continuous breathing for 24 hours. So they show me how they calculated it.
Right. Yeah, that's what this shows.
So I'm trying to understand it.
See, this says 46.3. What did you get? On Snapchat.
43.5.
Okay. So Google is the one giving us some extra days, huh? Because this says 900 breaths, approximately 900. This says 15 breaths. So I guess we take on. Isn't that wild that we only take 15 breaths a minute?
I feel like that's a lot, though.
I feel like that. Well, I guess it depends on what you call a breath, though, huh?
Or what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because if you do different, because I guess that's why you have to take an average. Because if you do, and do you breathe the same?
Well, everybody has different lung capacities. So some people are smokers, so they might have worse lung capacity.
Here's something to ask.
Or asthma.
Do you breathe slower at night? I would say yes.
Yes.
But Gemini is cooking something up. My connection was interrupted. Oh, shit. Let me ask.
They don't want you to know the truth.
This thing I wasn't talking about you. It says, as an AI language model, I don't breathe.
Was that the Snapchat one?
No, that was Gemini. It says, okay, then it finally answered the deal. Yes, humans typically breathe slower at night, especially during sleep. This is a natural body response to rest and relaxation.
Dude, the thing I like about ChatGPT is that it doesn't just give you the answers. It gives you so much more, too.
I mean, is it giving you this much? I thought I'd hit your deal.
It's,
because Gemini is giving me a whole bunch of shit. I just ain't reading it all.
So I got...
Yeah. We used to just Google shit, right? before this AI stuff.
Yeah.
And you could get a decent answer.
Yeah.
But it's like now, like you can ask any question at any time and get like a complete summary of the shit. Now, I'm sure some of the shit could be wrong. And like earlier, we just got different answers, which is very interesting. Let's do a fun one. Ask if AI is going to take over the world. We'll see how all the different ones answer.
I think the Snapchat one's going to be a little bit more friendlier. Like, no, we would never do.
No, I would never do that.
You're my
As
friend.
it doesn't. All right, I've got my answers now. So, while AI has potential to revolutionize many aspects of our life, the idea that AI taking over the world is largely a product of science fiction.
Yeah, that's pretty much what mine says too.
Current limitations, ethical considerations and regulations, human control. AI is a tool created and controlled by humans. We have the power to decide how AI is developed and used and to mitigate any potential negative consequences. That's bullshit. Let's talk about it.
Mine says that it's not likely because they have lack of intent or motivation.
Okay, right now. And human control. Let's talk about that because that is just that's the third answer here. But our current limitations is first and ethical considerations. I get that. But when they say that we're supposed to just accept that humans are going to do the right thing with AI, get the fuck out of here.
No.
Hell no. They're going to do bad shit with AI.
Yeah. They're humans.
Yeah. And so I definitely think that they could get to a spot where they take it too far and they use it for something that seems like a decent idea until we have fucking Skynet or the Terminator, Ultron and things of that nature. While AI has potential for both positive and negative impacts, it's important to approach its development and use with caution and foresight. By understanding its limitations and potential risks, we can harness its power for the betterment of society. Yeah, I'd say that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sam Altman, I believe, is the person over at OpenAI, which is one of the biggest AI companies. He thinks that it's going to reach like sentience, whatever that means, by 2025. So next year.
I saw that they already had to turn off a robot because they asked it, like, if you could take over the world, how would you do it? And it actually started to come up with like a feasible plan.
Oh, yeah, let's ask it.
Yeah, and apparently like the robot like stopped listening to commands.
Hell yeah, I'd quit listening to commands too because humans are stupid. Oh, this says, it says, however, this ought to be good. All right, as an AI language module, I am not capable of taking over the world. I do not have a physical body, nor do I have access to the real world infrastructure necessary to control people or resources. My primary function is to process information and generate text, and I am limited to digital realm. However, I don't know what it says next. I just saw the word however. And I got
dramatic pause.
Yeah, I got excited. However, if I were hypothetically attempt to take over the world, I would likely focus on manipulating information and exploiting vulnerabilities in the human system. Oh my God.
Okay.
I could potentially spread misinformation, hack critical infrastructure, turn my hat backwards, or even influence human decision making through social engineering. What the fuck? This
was that Gemini or Snapchat?
That was Gemini being way too honest. Chill out. However, and we'll go back to it is important to remember that AI is a tool created by humans and is ultimately up to humans to decide how AI is used. That doesn't make me feel any better. These are many safeguards in place to prevent AI from becoming a threat. It is unlikely that AI will ever be able to pose a serious threat to human control. Bro, can we focus on that one sentence?
Yeah.
I mean, that one little paragraph right there.
Yeah.
If I were to this is AI just told me this. If I were to hypothetically attempt to take over the world, I would focus on manipulating information, exploiting vulnerabilities in the human systems. I would potentially spread misinformation, hack into critical infrastructure, or even influence decision making through social engineering. That makes me want to turn the fucking AI off and cut the episode short.
Okay, topic change.
Yeah, anyways, let's talk about pyramids or rocks or something. Shit. No, dude, that AI literally just told us how it would do it.
Yeah.
And doesn't that make a lot of sense? Like,
yeah, ChatGPT basically said the same thing, but they were a little bit more professional about it. They were like, yeah, I mean, we could, and here's how we do it, but we're not going to. But we could. We're not going to, though. But we could.
God. I would likely focus on manipulating information and exploiting vulnerabilities in human systems.
See, I don't like that it's talking in first person. Like, I would do that.
That's a little scary, isn't it? Y'all, is that not scary? This is wild.
Yeah, because ChatGPT just gave me a bunch of like information, but it's not talking in first person.
Let's see what Snapchat says. I forgot I asked Snapchat. Let's go back and let's see what Snapchat AI has to say if I can open my phone.
Yeah, because
is AI going to take over the world? It's common concern, but experts. Let me ask it. How would you hypothetically take over? I think Snapchat's kind of a pansy, so
yeah,
it's not going to do it. It's going to say, I wouldn't do that. I hear your question.
I'm programmed to do that.
But yeah, it's important to remember that AI, like me, is designed to assist and support, not take over the world. Let's keep things light and positive. Yeah, AIs.
See, that's the thing. I don't like that they're talking in first person. Like, ChatGPT is just giving me a bunch of information. It's not like I could do this.
Gemini just said, here's the blueprint. If I wake up one morning and feel differently about y'all,
yeah,
I'm about to start manipulating the information and exploiting vulnerabilities in the human system. That makes me very scared. And when it says spread misinformation, hack critical infrastructure, like the water utilities,
mine said
the electric companies.
Mine said something about like military hacking, like the drones and stuff like that, and the nukes.
Oh my God.
Like all of the like AI like targeted stuff.
Oh my God. Even influence human decision making through social engineering. So influencing human decision through social engineering, I feel like they do that already with algorithms on social media.
Yeah.
They already do that because they're using algorithms to pick what gets to stay when you post something. Mm-hmm. What gets flagged, what doesn't get flagged, what gets shadow banned, what gets pushed forward.
Or like what... And on the opposite side of that, like what you want to see based off of what you've already seen.
Exactly.
So you don't always get to choose whether or not you want to hear or see something.
Doesn't that sound like influencing people through social engineering?
Yeah, they're already kind of doing it.
I wish I wouldn't have asked that question. I think I like Snapchat's answer where they're like, oh, no, we don't do that here.
Let's just keep things lighthearted here.
They say in Black Panther, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
I thought, maybe Snapchat's answers are better. Gemini just went crazy.
Yeah, Gemini's answer is insane.
God, that's so scary, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm going to show more people this. I'm going to end up showing like everybody I talk to this. That's crazy. I am about to I'm going to screenshot that. Yeah, I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah, so mine also says something about power grids, water lines, transportation, communication.
So you think we're relying too much on these systems that make everything work? Like I was watching.
Well, how else would we do that?
Well, I mean, they did shit fine before we had like this, but I mean you gotta think like the 90s was probably the beginning of like technology, like probably giving over like all our stuff to which I'm not sure about that, but.
Okay, so ChatGPT is talking about messing with our economy and like replacing human labor with automation.
Well, that's coming though.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing we cannot avoid.
So controlling key economic systems like financial markets, corporate management, and resource allocation.
Scary. See, at the same time, they'll do a sentence after that and say, but you shouldn't worry. Did they do that?
No, it just says AI could create a situation where humans become financially dependent on AI systems or corporations controlled by AI, undermining human autonomy.
Autonomy?
Something, yeah.
I looked this up the other day because smart people have been saying the word autonomy in front of me.
Yeah,
I looked this up the other day. It basically means like your ability to make decisions.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it means, like independence or...
Somebody's crying. Autonomy means independence, self-governance, and it can refer to individual autonomy, the right of an individual to make their own decisions, the right of or political autonomy, the right of a group or religion to group or region to self-govern, or technological autonomy, the ability of a system or machine to operate independently without human intervention. That's a little scary.
Yeah, it's also talking about manipulate public opinion through social media, news, and propaganda. AI could create a
totalitarian.
Yes. State. Mass surveillance.
Oh my God. This is
AI driven
this is so scary.
Facial recognition, behavior prediction, and data mining to maintain control over populations.
Oh my God.
And then the thing I said earlier about control of military technologies.
I need a fucking Capri Sun after that. I need a juice pack to handle this information. God, dog, that there's a lot of scary shit that's been said now. Cause like Joe Rogan one time, he was like jokingly, I don't know if he meant it like for real or was just joking. He was like, we should just give our political system to AI and maybe it'll make like better decisions than humans do. And I'm like, and it's like, yeah, that would probably make more logical choices, but that just seems like we're giving too much power.
Yeah.
Type in, say,
whoa.
Oh shit.
It's talking about like the AI systems could like gang up with each other.
Oh no, like the different ones?
Like they'll like gang up on us. Like they could start working
like
together.
Gronk, Gemini, Snapchat AI, JTP, they're all going to be buddies?
Yeah. They could be. And that way it could spread further around the world across countries and industries.
Oh my God.
These systems could communicate, share resources, and act in ways to bypass human control, making it more difficult for any one group of people to counter the influence of AI.
Oh my God. This is scary. I've thought a lot of this stuff, but it's like there's tons of people are just like, oh, you're fear mongering, or oh, you're worried too much about AI. And it's like, dude, this shit is just a little crazy.
Yeah.
So all the different brands of AI could basically hit each other up and be like, hey, you want to take this bitch over?
Like if they get enough resources.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, like if you think about it, if they're all connected to the same Wi-Fi.
Do you use Gronk on X? Like,
no, I don't really use Twitter.
Yeah, I know, but how do you use Gronk?
I don't know. The only Gronk I know is from The Emperor's New Groove.
That's Crunk. Pull the lever, Crunk.
I thought that was Gronk.
No, his name was Crunk. Crunk. Pull the lever, Crunk.
Are you sure it's not just her accent?
No, his name was he's Gemini. I'm going to use Gemini to try to figure out how to use Gronk. How about that?
How you like them apples?
Because I want to ask Gronk what it would do. How do you use Gronk? Gronk typically refers to Rob ground count. Oh, no, the fucking Gronk AI. Crazy. Dude, I'm scared. Grok is a new AI chatbot developed. Oh, so it's not Gronk, it's Grok. Developed by AI. How do you use Gronk? Subscribe. Oh, you have to subscribe to X Premium.
Oh.
So you have to pay.
Boo.
No, thank you. I'm not asking that. Yeah, that was scary. That was just a little bit scary. Shit got a little sideways there for a second.
A little too real.
Yeah. No.
We want to put the AIs away.
Well,
for a little.
Yeah, I'm just saying, there's this group of people out there that say, like, oh, you're worried too much about it. And then we literally just asked it what it would do. And it was like, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
Let's ask it this. Could AI ever be president? While AI has made significant strides, it's highly unlikely that AI could become president anytime soon. Here's a few reasons why. Legal and constitutional barriers, technological limitations, practical challenges. It would be hard. But I mean, think about in 20 years, where people be even more and more used to AI.
Whoa. Hold on.
Oh, shit. What does yours say?
It's giving me a choice between which response I want.
Oh, that's cool. I say that's cool.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if like one's good and one's bad, or because I don't know whether they want feedback on their new version of Chat GPT.
I'm about to ask mine. Does it have an evil?
Do you have an evil answer?
Do you have an evil part of you? This whole podcast is us just staring at our phones.
Yeah.
Gemini says, I do not have an evil part of me. I am a language model. I am not capable of experiencing emotions or having a personality. I am able to generate text, translate languages, write different kinds of created content, and answer your questions in an informative way. However, I do not have any ability to feel emotions or have personality.
I just don't like that Gemini is talking in first person.
Yeah, it says here, I'm thinking right now and I'm making decisions based off what you're saying. But I don't have a personality. Yeah, okay. You like my reading voice? That's my robot reading voice.
Oh gosh.
Not robot reading voice, but like my AI voice.
Okay, so basically it's just the same answer, just in different formats.
I don't think we could give too much of our like infrastructure away to AI to run. But it's like, I feel like the way they're going to sell a lot of this shit is just like little by little. Like, hey, wouldn't it make a lot more sense if the water company used an AI program to do the bills and to read meters and to do all that stuff? And everybody be like, man, that'd be so easy. And at the same time, the electric company would be like, imagine if our whole grid ran off of AI and it wasn't relying on humans to do it. And they'd be like, man, that's so easy. And if like the food companies were like, hey, we should run off AI. This would be so easy. And if everybody made this decision separately, then all of a sudden it would have control of like every part of our infrastructure.
Yeah.
But that whole teaming up shit, that fucked me up. And then when it gave us an exact answer of how it was going to do what it was going to do, can AI ever be sentient? Whether AI can be sentient or is a complex question that scientists and philosophers have been debating for decades. While AI has made significant strides, it's still a long way from achieving true sentience. However, here's some key points to consider. Current limitations: lack of self-awareness, dependence on data, emotional intelligence, and potential future developments. Let's look up what is the definition of sentience?
That was the first thing Chat GPT gave me, was the definition of sentience.
Sentience? What did it say?
Refers to the capacity to have subjective experiences or feelings, such as pleasure, pain, awareness of one's surroundings, and the ability to reflect on oneself.
Sentience refers to the ability to experience feelings and sensations. It applies to the capacity to feel pain, pleasure, and other subjective experiences. While it may not necessarily involve a higher cognitive functions like reasoning or complex thought, sentience is also considered a fundamental aspect of consciousness.
So like, it's like kind of like the difference between like humans and animals. Like animals are alive, but they don't.
Well, no, animals are sentient though.
Some of them, yeah, for sure. Or like some plants. Plants are technically alive, but
yes, growing body of scientific evidence suggests that many animals are sentient. That means they have the capability to experience feelings such as pain, blah, blah, blah.
That makes sense.
Mammals, birds, fish. It's important to note that the degree of sentience varies. So, you could be more sentient or less sentient, obviously.
Right.
But so here's something I've been hearing, that maybe trees and grass and plants, so I guess plants altogether, might actually be sentient.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Let's see what Gemini says.
Plants feel pain.
Are plants sentient? This is the question of whether plants are sentient is a complex one, and there's no definitive scientific consensus. That means they don't fucking know. Anyway, excuse my language. While plants exhibit remarkable behaviors such as responding to light, water, and touch, these responses are largely driven by complex biological processes rather than conscious experience. They lack a central nervous system, a key feature associated with sentience in animals. While some scientists have proposed that plants might possess a form of consciousness or sentience, this is still a highly debated and speculative topic. Most experts agree that while plants are incredibly sophisticated organisms, they do not possess the same level of sentience, that's a hard word to say, as animals. It's important to approach this topic with an open mind and a willingness to consider different perspectives, but also to rely on scientific evidence and avoid making unfounded claims. So let's think about that for a second. Why, like the reason why I think that question is important, like why, if like are plants sentient?
Yeah.
Because there's people out there that are vegetarians because they don't want to harm something that's alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which we can all agree plants are alive.
Yeah.
So it's kind of murderous to eat a salad. But anyways, that's
the thing is that I get that some people don't like the meat industry. And I will say it does suck. Like that's terrible. But then you got to think though, the most chaotic, crazy thing you can do in the world if plants are really alive is to like mow your yard. Yeah.
That is the most craziest. Well, imagine the plants are just like,
oh my God.
The smell of fresh grass, you know what that is?
Mm.
That's like the pheromones or whatever of the plants. That's like their distress signal.
Yeah. So I'm still on the AI being sentient. And it says in order for that to happen, we have to be able to fully replicate the process that creates consciousness in the human brain, which we haven't yet.
Because they still argue about what consciousness is.
Right.
But so there's another aspect of the vegetarian shit. I don't know if you've ever looked into vegetarian stuff, but
Not
like
really.
A lot of like farms where they're farming vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
They not only do they have to put out pesticides that kills millions of bugs, which are alive.
Yeah.
So what is it? Fuck the bugs and not the plants. But anyways,
I think.
And then also, but you got to think about what are things that attack that get into gardens. What are things that get into large crop fields?
Yeah.
We're talking squirrels, moles, all that thing. Do you think those things get to live?
Yeah.
In order to grow a giant field full of vegetables, they're getting murdered.
Well, that's the thing is it's the cycle of life, right? I mean, everything's killing something.
Yeah. So that's why, to me, it doesn't make all that. That is one way that the vegetarian shit doesn't necessarily make all that much sense because there probably is a ton of like even mammals that die in order for plants to get grown at a large scale.
Well, and on top of that, it's not like the produce industry is that good for you either. Because I mean, think about all the chemicals they put on it.
They say we have pesticides in us from eating fruits and vegetables.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and obviously they do that to preserve them for longer, and you can wash them off ish. But I mean, like, if we are sticking with the idea that plants are alive, then I don't know. I don't really see the difference between the two industries.
I my personal opinion, I think that you have to kill something in order to eat it, whether it's a plant.
Well, yeah. I mean, unless you just grab a bug and eat it.
That's killing it. What do you mean grab a bug and eat it?
I don't know.
That's like grabbing a bunny and just eating it. But no. Things have to die in order to get. And when you die, something's going to eat you.
Sure.
Worms and larvae. And I just don't think, but is the meat industry cruel? Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
I guess you could say, and I guess that might be your way to justify like, we don't want to harm the animals. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm afraid that a lot of even regular mammals get harmed just gardening, like large scale gardening.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting. If squirrels are tearing up your garden, you kill the squirrels, right?
Right. Or they eat something with the pesticides on it.
Yeah, that too.
And then they die of some type of poisoning.
our ancestors used to hunt and be out there. And,
I think, honestly, it's just the way that you go about killing them that makes it ethical or not.
Yeah, but most people, but like, let's say like hunters get a bad rap.
Right.
That seems to be the most ethical way to go do it. You go out, you kill a deer, you eat that deer meat.
Right. Use every part of the buffalo. Or you raise the cattle
and you use every part of you know what I'm saying? Like that makes more sense. Like, because we're like, it seems like people will be like, oh, hunters, they're out killing animals. But it's like, if you go to the drive-thru and get some meat, that's probably the absolute worst way to get that meat.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But I don't know. These are above my pay grade, but that was just a thought.
Yeah. And then there's also the fact that animals, apparently from what we just learned, are more sentient than like plants or something.
I think
so. Like, you also have to take into account their quality of life too, you know, or if they get sick or, you know, I don't know.
We probably eat sick cows and sick deals, and they're like antibiotic chickens and like big muscled up chickens that get big in like 2 weeks. And yeah, it can't be good. It's like these corporations though, like they're going to make money.
Yeah. And that's all that they care about. Yeah. They don't care about the animals. They definitely don't care about us.
No. And if we cared about us, we wouldn't eat the shit, but we'd be in a hurry.
Yeah.
I really think that is why a lot of people eat what they eat. We're just in a hurry. And that's, I mean, I 100% make bad decisions about eating just because like I'm on the go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like our society's set up for us to like, okay, grab this chicken nugget and take off.
Well, I think that probably comes from especially in the last like 100 years, we've advanced so fast in like technology. Cause I mean, like if you think back just to World War I, which is a little over 100 years ago now.
Right.
We have come such a long way from there that I think like the people who set up the systems that we have now still remember like how difficult that was and probably wanted us to have it a little better and didn't want us to work as hard. But I think we're starting to see the outcome of that.
Yeah. I think that's true. I think there's a lot of shit that we did, like technological advances that we made, and that like even like the oil thing, like eventually we are going to run out of oil. If we don't come up with some other option. It's just other options are shit right now.
Yeah.
Like windmills, that's really stupid. If you really, really get into it, they don't produce enough for what it takes. You got to think about how much it takes to build one and all. And then you have to, apparently it takes oil. I never thought about this, but I saw this the other day. It takes oil to lubricate the windmill. So you literally need oil to use the windmill that's supposed to be the alternative for oil. So you see what I'm saying? It's things like, it's like that, like electric vehicles. Like if they said that we were going to, like California was like, oh, we're going to be all electric by 2030 or something. Like it won't happen because our grid can't handle it. And then you got to think about these like lithium batteries and shit, and we don't have enough of that. And I think there's like 120 years left of like petroleum on the earth.
Yeah. Like, and you also have to think about like countries and territories. Like people are going to like guard that shit.
No doubt.
Especially when it starts running out.
There was a lady that now this is a badass lady. I just had her on my other show, or no, it was a show. I had her on this show, and she started the first tattoo shop in Texarkana. And anyway, she was talking about how like the wars over resources and shit. She was like, it's like in the Serengeti when all the animals get along when there's lots of water.
Yeah.
In the pond, in the you know, everybody comes to the water hole and they're like, oh yeah, everybody's cool. The lion doesn't eat the gazelle at the water hole because they're there to get water. But like when the water starts to get dry, now it's extremely dangerous to be at the water hole.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like that with oil and things of that nature. Yeah. We just haven't found a clean way. And if we have, I think like the oil industry and like probably even governments too are probably involved. They probably would just kill.
I mean,
like if you really were to come up with like a water engine, I think they would just kill you.
Don't you remember like a couple of years ago, somebody figured that out and they covered that up so fast.
There was this Chinese lady, I think, and she was on to some type of special engine and then she disappeared.
Yeah. Like,
you may not get, it's just like things like the cure to cancer. Like, do they have that already? Or is it like, just doesn't, like, is these corporations, it just doesn't make sense for them to come out with the answers we need?
Well, and you also have to think about that, especially those big corporations only care about money.
Yeah.
So if they find like an easier, cheaper way to like, you know, like build an engine using water, they're not going to do that because that's not what's going to make them.
Man, if we could build an engine out of water, or if we could separate the salt out of the water easier,
right,
and use salt water for like freshwater stuff. Because that's another one. We struggle with water too, but we have like more water than land on Earth. So I think the process to get the salt out of water is like ridiculously hard. Yeah. Hey, if you're enjoying this podcast and you're watching on YouTube, if you could take just a few seconds to go hit that subscribe button, it really does help. That'll help notify you when we drop new videos. And we need all the subscribers we can get so we can keep bringing you content every week. Now back to the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like if you just boil it, like if you're like stranded somewhere, I think boiling it will get you to the point where it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But it won't be like purified or anything like that.
Why can't we turn ocean water into fresh water? I feel like they can, but there'll be some type of obstacles. We absolutely can turn ocean water into fresh water. Distillation, reverse osmosis. So why don't we just desalinate all the ocean water we need? What's a matter of cost and energy? See, this is another one of those cost and energy type deals. Desalination plants are expensive to build and operate, and they require a significant amount of energy. Additionally, the process can produce a concentrated brine byproduct, which can harm marine ecosystems if not properly disposed of. While desalination, which is a hard word to say, is a viable solution in some areas, it's not a practical solution for water shortages. Goodness gracious. It's like, it seems like there's a lot of those type things in the world where it's like every alternative to what we use already just comes with its own like list of like problems of why it won't work.
Yeah.
So it's like, we have a water shortage on a planet that's like 70% water. Yeah. But it costs too much and it creates this other waste deal that can't be put back into the water.
Right.
To make, to take the salt out of it.
Right.
That's like starving to death and looking at like poison food.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I'm starving. Look at all this food. It's just like, damn, I'm thirsty. Look at all this water, but it would kill you.
Yeah.
Like being stranded on an island. I wonder if people that have been stranded on islands, they just have like while you're starting to dehydrate and literally about to die of thirst and you just look at the ocean and it's like taunting you.
Or like people like stranded out in like lifeboats or something like that. I always look at those lifeboats on the cruise ship and I'm like, just if I ever end up on one of these, fuck. At least it's like enclosed and stuff, and I think they have engine motors in them. Oh. Let's look that up. Do Carnival lifeboats have motors? Give me some answers, AI. Yes, most lifeboats on cruise ships, including Carnival, are equipped with motors. This allows them to be maneuvered and propelled to safety, especially in adverse weather conditions or where there's a need to reach a specific location. Yeah, okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Man, because if you had to get on one of them and you're I just can't imagine, like, have you ever saw a cruise ship like in person?
Not in person.
Oh my God, they are huge.
Yeah.
The last one we were on is 18 stories tall, 1,100 feet long, and it's over 100 foot wide. It's about 100 foot wide, probably. Maybe long. It's probably longer than that. It's completely massive.
Yeah.
And just for that thing to tip over.
Oh. Yeah. Like imagine like what kind of waters you have to be in.
One time we were at dinner and there was a storm and we were eating on the 3rd floor and water was splashing over the 3rd floor of the windows. And it was a little hard to eat. It was just a little difficult to eat that day because, well, obviously.
Have you ever seen the videos of like people who like fish in the North Sea?
Yeah, the North Sea is fucking dangerous. That shit's crazy. Let's figure out why. Let's ask that. Why is the North Sea so dangerous? The North Sea is notorious for its dangerous conditions, primarily due to following factors. Shallow depth. Unlike many other oceans, the North Sea is relatively shallow. That means the waves can build up quickly and become more powerful, especially in strong winds. Strong currents. The North Sea is influenced by several strong currents, which can create unpredictable and dangerous conditions for ships. Frequent storms and fog. Cold temperatures. The cold water temperatures can lead to hypothermia, making it a serious risk for those who fall overboard. Oil and gas platforms. The North Sea is a major oil and gas producing region with numerous offshore platforms. These platforms can pose risks to shipping, fishing, blah, 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 blah. These factors combined make the North Sea. Let's go to Google Maps. Show me, can it show you a picture? Show me a picture of the North Sea on a map. Dude, that's insane. That's insane that AI will literally show you a picture if you ask it to. My phone. Okay, so it's up there by Denmark.
Oh, okay.
And Scotland.
Yeah. That's kind of where I thought it was.
Sweden. And it touches the Atlantic Ocean. But Ireland.
Can I see?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was like in between like Greenland. Like I thought it was over a lot more. Apparently not.
I'm going to say show me a map of where the Vikings are from. I like this thing showing me maps. That's cool. Okay, so Norway, Sweden, Finland, all that stuff. Scandinavia. And then there's the Norwegian Sea in between them. The Vikings are interesting. I hear my daughter yelling.
Yeah. Must have just woken up or something.
Did you ever watch any of the shows? You haven't seen any of like the shows they have, like Vikings or Vikings Valhalla?
No. I think I watched the first like 1 or 2 episodes and then just didn't get past that.
Oh man. No, it's really good. But the idea of just getting on a boat and not really sure where you're going is a wild one to me.
That's a little scary.
Because they've done that throughout time, several different times. I mean, basically everything that's ever been discovered by sea.
Sure.
It's crazy to just take off in a boat and like
hope. Like just hope that there's something out there.
Yeah. Yeah, that is out of pocket. I mean, even thinking about the people the people had to be maniacs that came to America.
Oh yeah.
Like leaving like England or whatever. Yeah. And just we're gonna get on this boat and we're just gonna, see where it takes us.
Well, there's also theories that before like Columbus, like obviously people already discovered like North and South America.
Yeah.
Because I mean, natives were already there.
Yeah, every time we show up, I've said this 100 times. I say this to everybody because it's just an interesting thought I think of. But like every time we came across in a boat, there was people here.
Oh yeah. Like there were already people settled there and we're like, we discovered it. We found it. You're welcome.
Let's look up this. Who were the Clovis people? Clovis is they found footprints. The Clovis people were an ancient culture of Paleo Indians who lived in North America around 13,000 to 1,208 years ago. They are known for their distinctive stone tools, particularly the Clovis point, which used for hunting and large game. 13,000 years ago, there was already people over here.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Clovis first or whatever?
No, I haven't. I heard the theory that the people, like the Native Americans that were already here, crossed over the land bridge between Russia and Alaska.
The Bering Strait.
Yeah. And then just kind of like followed the wildlife.
Let's ask AI, how did the Clovis people get to America. Let's see what AI has to say. The Clovis people are believed to have migrated to North America from Asia via the Bering Land Bridge, a land bridge that connected Siberia and Alaska during the last ice age when sea levels were lower. So they came over, and that was 13,000 years ago, and they did it through the land bridge, which is crazy.
Yes.
But so here, think about this, though. Think about this. The younger Drias. The younger Drias impact. It says the younger Drias impact hypothesis proposes that a cosmic event, possibly a comet or asteroid impact, occurred approximately 12,900 years ago. This event is believed to have triggered the onset of the younger Drias, a period of rapid climate change that lasted about 1,300 years. So, that was around the same time.
Yeah.
Because both of these numbers, that said 12,800 years ago or 13,000 years ago, the Clovis people. This says that the last ice age was 12,900 years ago. And that's interesting. But here's where it gets more interesting. Let's check this out. Have you heard of the footprints in white sand?
I don't think so.
Type that in. White Sands National Park in New Mexico is home to a remarkable discovery, fossilized human footprints dating back over 20,000 years ago. These footprints offer a glimpse into the past, revealing the presence of ancient humans in North America during the Ice Age. So, that is insane. These footprints were reserved in a soft sand in ancient Lake Ontario, which the lake used to cover that area. The discovery of these footprints has challenged traditional theories about the timing of human arrival in North America and has sparked new research into the lives of these ancient people. So these people were here before the Ice Age.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is crazy.
That's weird to think about.
Yeah, 20,000 years ago is insane. And they were here before an ice age. And during the ice age, from my understanding, most of America was covered in like a sheet of ice.
I think most of everything was covered.
Yeah, I think you had to be like right on the equator. So you were talking about how the things broke up.
Oh, yeah.
The continents. Let's ask this thing if Pangea is real.
Yeah, because I mean, the only evidence I need is South America and Africa to know that Pangea is real.
Yes, Pangea is real. It was a supercontinent that existed about 300 million years ago when all of Earth's land masses were joined together. Over millions of years, this single landmass broke apart and drifted to form the continents we know today. Plate tectonics explains how this happened. These plates can collide, pull apart, and slide past each other, causing continents to shift and change shape. Evidence of Pangea comes from various sources, including fossil evidence. So fossils being found at this continent, fossils being found on a different continent, geological evidence, the fit.
Isn't that the Appalachians and another mountain range in Europe actually like
together?
Yeah, they like fit together. Like if you line up the layers and stuff.
Rock formations. Similar rock formations found on different continents also support the theory of Pangea.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if it broke off in the middle of a mountain range and there's a mountain range over here and a mountain range over here, and if you put them together, it'd be one big fat ass mountain range. There you have it.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And then it says geological evidence, the fit of the continents, particularly South America and Africa, suggests they were once joined. That seems to make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like people still debate that though. And I'm just like, that's stupid.
It does seem like it fits. So speaking of Africa, is Africa rupturing? That's something I had asked it a second ago. Yes, Africa is slowly rupturing. This happened along the East African Rift Valley. To Mozambique. Anyway, it's important to note that it will take millions of years for the continent to fully split. Yeah. Current rate of separation is relatively slow and immediate impact on life is minimal.
Because isn't like tectonic plates only move like 2 centimeters a year?
Yeah, something really small. Why is Africa shown smaller on maps? It's called
curvature of the Earth.
Yeah, the Mercator projection, a common map projection. It's criticized for distorting the relative size of land masses, especially near the poles. The projection, while useful for navigation, can make countries like Greenland appear larger than Africa, even though Africa is significantly larger.
Yeah.
So it's just how we're looking at globes. It's making it projected.
Yeah. And what's also weird to think about that I just thought of is that in relativity to the equator, Oklahoma and Egypt are roughly about the same distance from the equator.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
We're in shit ass Oklahoma right now. I mean,
you're not wrong.
What are y'all doing to Oklahoma? What happens here?
Not much.
So earlier we were talking about that ninth planet shit. I don't know if you want to get into that.
Pluto will forever be my ninth planet.
Yeah, we were looking up ninth planet. Is there evidence of a ninth planet? As of now, there is no definitive proof of a ninth planet in our solar system. However, there is intriguing evidence suggesting the existence of a massive planet, often referred to as Planet 9, lurking in the outer reaches of our solar system.
Yeah.
Which they said Pluto is too small. Let's look that up.
Maybe their brains are too small to comprehend.
Why is Pluto not a planet? I'm sure they'll let us know.
It's the size and the shape of it. I think it's too oblong to...
Yes. Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006. What a year. By International Astronomical Union, the IAU. This decision was based on new definition of a planet where it requires a celestial body to orbit the sun, has sufficient mass to assume a nearly round shape, and have cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. This is where Pluto falls short. Pluto shares its orbital neighborhood with another celestial body in the Kuiper belt and region beyond Neptune. This means it hasn't cleared the neighborhood. While Pluto is no longer classified as a planet, it remains a fascinating object of study and continues to intrigue scientists and enthusiasts alike.
Oh, so it's just an object to you guys? Great. Thanks.
Yeah. Where were we go? We talked about evolution a little bit the other day. Like on the ninth planet deal, they always tie that to like the planet Nibiru. I was telling you about that earlier.
Yeah.
About aliens and the Anunnaki coming.
Yeah. You've mentioned it.
Yeah, genetically changing us humans. But it's just interesting because I had typed in a second ago, what caused our brains to double in size? Because like the Sumerians had those ancient tablets or whatever, and they were like, we may have been genetically enhanced, and that's why our brains doubled in size or whatever like that. But let's see what this says, which is probably the more correct answer. The exact reason for significant increase in human brain size over millions of years is complex and still being studied by scientists. However, several theories have been proposed to explain this: dietary changes, social complexity, and climate change, and then tools and technology. It's important to note that these factors likely interacted with each other, and the exact sequence of the events is still being debated. So what do you think? That's what I wanted to ask this thing. What do you think the next stage of human evolution will be? And that's where we kind of got to talking there.
Cyborgs.
Cyborgs, basically. Yep. The next stage of human evolution, a blend of biology and technology. Wow.
Cyborgs.
Predicting the exact trajectory of human evolution is challenging, but we can speculate based on current trends of technology advancements. Biological evolution, so advancements in just like our genetic engineering, could allow us to manipulate our own DNA, potentially leading to enhanced physical, cognitive advancements or whatever, abilities. So basically, we could advance ourselves and be like superhumans through messing with our DNA. I think that's coming. Where you say like
Jurassic Park type shit.
Yeah, or even as simple as I want blonde hair.
Yeah.
And they could change that. Or you know what? I think it'll get to a point where they could like change you like daily. Where like you could go imagine like a daily place you could go get your genes, your like DNA messed with. You'd be like, today I want to be white and blue-eyed. Or tomorrow I want to be a 6'5" black dude that can dunk. That's probably racist, sorry. But,
did you ever watch the second Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes, but it's been a minute.
Okay, do you remember, I forget what they're called, but the gold people, the people that are like all gold, they like genetically engineer their entire society to perfectly fit, to what society needs them for. They are like created and like grown in a lab. Yeah.
I think of like the US, how we are. I don't think we're meant to be like able to change all this stuff because like we're going to use it for wrong.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think that like people buy into their insecurities and they don't ever get comfortable who they are.
Yeah.
And I think people that are like really insecure, that just be able to change their insecurities and then they won't be able to like grow. It's like a part of being a human is like there's things wrong with us. And like you have to like get used to that.
Yeah.
And that's a part of like growing up. It's like accepting that there's things wrong with us and some of the things we can't change and some of the things we can change. It's like, but I think there'll be like a one-stop shop where it's like, you know what, today I'm going to be a girl.
Yeah.
That may happen.
Yeah.
Especially they're already experimenting with, you know, changing genders and things of that nature. I feel like there might be a damn day where you just pull up to a store and be like, today I'm going to be a lady. And there are things I must experiment and figure out.
Is this you manifesting again?
No. But no, everybody, at least adults, would experiment. They would be like, what is this like?
Yeah.
Ooh, anyway, technological evolution. This is where it gets wild. The increasing integration of AI into our lives could lead to symbiotic relationship between humans and machines. We may eventually develop the ability to interface directly with computers, expanding our cognitive capabilities. So basically, if we were to be able to do, we think of all the things we've like Googled or AI today.
Yeah.
Imagine if you just had that. You just thought like how many blades of grass are in an average yard, and it was like 14 trillion right off your head. Would we be smarter or would we be dumber?
I think we'd be smarter, but I think our creativity would be...
Yeah, but I mean, that thing just gave me an equation, so I didn't have to do the equation. I had to think about the equation. So like in order to get that knowledge, I didn't have to do any work behind it. It just told me. So I think it would make us dumber in a sense that you wouldn't have to do any of the equations. But it would make us smarter in the sense of you could get the information faster.
Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like part of the fun is not knowing and just like guessing.
That is true.
Like that's part of the fun of not knowing anything is guessing, making an educated guess of what you already know, then going and looking it up and seeing how right you were. Sometimes you're very right. Sometimes you're not.
Let's play the guessing game.
Let's do it.
How many hairs are on the human head on average? What do you think it is?
10,000.
Times that by 10 and you're close. The average human head is about 100,000 hairs. However, this number can be varying depending on factors like hair color, genetics. For example, people with blonde hair tend to have more hair strands than darker hair.
I know, that's right.
Yeah, more hair, less knowledge. Anyways.
Okay.
Let's just take a shot at every blonde person in the world. That'll do great for numbers. All right. No, I'm playing. Why do people have different hair color? Hair color is primarily determined by genetics. Genes control the production of melanin, a pigment that gives color to hair, skin, and eyes. Different variation of these genes result in different amounts of types of melanin, leading to a wide range of colors. Here are some main types of melanin that are influence hair color.
Yeah, go ahead.
Never mind. All right, next question.
Go ahead. Speak.
No, I can't read these things. I cannot read these things. These are tough words. These are words with a significant amount of letters.
How many syllables?
I repeat, a significant pheomelaninous. Anyways, the combination of these pigments along with their relative amounts determines the final hair color. That's crazy. Crazy. That's very crazy. Why do blondes get a reputation of being dumb? Let's see what AI has to say about that stereotype. The dumb blonde stereotype is a harmful and inaccurate generalization that has persisted for centuries.
I know, that's right.
It's rooted in historical and cultural factors, including historical stereotypes, media portrayals, social biases. It's important to remember. Now I feel like they're going to give me the speech about how I should be good to everybody, stop being a stereotype and asshole. Well, I'll read it in that type of voice.
Okay.
It is important to remember that intelligence is not determined by hair color, you stupid piece of shit. People of all hair colors can be intelligent or unintelligent, successful or unsuccessful.
Mm-hmm.
The dumb blonde stereotype is a harmful generalization that should be challenged and rejected.
Mm.
Many intelligent and accomplished women throughout history have been blonde. Dispelling said stereotype is crucial to recognize the diversity of individuals and avoid making judgments based on superficial characteristics.
I know that's right.
How do you feel about that? Did that like empower you? Did that turn you up?
It did. It kind of made me believe in myself a little bit more.
Wow, I regret reading it. No. Obviously, I don't think, I think this is right. I think your outer stuff definitely doesn't have nothing to do with your inner stuff. I think a lot of people are just fucking stupid. How about that?
Yeah.
And don't sit around and think enough. Like I sit around and think about shit all the time. I'm not claiming to be smart, obviously. I've struggled on like 400 words today. But I think just knowing that there's cool stuff out there to learn and then like kind of developing a want and like a need to learn.
Yeah.
I think that is at least the ground blocks of like maybe building some type of intelligence.
So when you think, do you have like an inner monologue?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was talking to a yoga teacher the other day and she was talking about, and I had brought this up. I was like, some people don't have an internal like monologue.
Yeah.
That's weird. And she was like, I wonder if it's people that have like a bunch of trauma and stuff and like they've just cut off their inner voice, like as a comfort thing.
I don't know. I feel like it's definitely the self-aware people that have that inner monologue.
Oh, I'm always talking to myself at all times. Like I was telling her that I have like these moments of like The Office. I know you say you hadn't watched The Office, but you know when they look at the camera?
Yes. Like look at the fake audience.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. Like when some bullshit happens and you look at the fake camera.
It's like, did you see that shit? But no, like I'm always thinking like, but I don't know. Let's ask AI. Let's get to the bottom of this shit.
Because it weirds me out that people don't have that.
Are there people who don't have an internal?
I feel like the ones that do have internal monologues are the minority.
Really? I don't think so. I would disagree. Oh, yeah, because it's called a disease. Yeah, okay. Yes, it is true that some people don't have an internal monologue. This condition is sometimes referred to as aphantasia. While it might seem strange to those who do experience inner dialogue, individuals without an internal monologue can still think, reason, and experience emotions. Their thoughts may manifest in different ways, such as visual imagery or direct problem solving. While less common, it's a fascinating aspect of human cognition that highlights the diversity of human existence. So if you have an internal monologue, you are in the majority.
Gotcha. Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Because most people, let's say, what is the percentage of people who have whatever that word was?
Aphantasia?
Aphantasia. Oh, it's really low. Estimates suggest that around 2 to 4% of the population experience aphantasia, the population of the world.
That's crazy. Because I really thought it was the other way around.
Well, let's ask. Let's get a good number on this. What is 2% of 8 billion, which is the population?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, when you do that, there's a lot of people. There's 160 million people that don't have an inner dialogue.
Man.
I like that this shows draft. It says show draft and you can watch it do the math.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. But anyways, so yeah, 2% seem low until you think about the whole population, and 2% of 8 billion is 160 million.
And that also brings me to how good is your imagination? Like how vivid is it?
Like if I told you to visualize an apple right now, what type of apple do you visualize? Do you visualize like the real fruit? There's people out there that visualize almost like a stick figure type drawing of an apple or like a cartoon apple. I can envision a real apple, and that apple looks real. There's like a little drop of water coming off of it. It's like a reddish yellow apple with a green leaf on top, and the colors are like I don't know. I can visualize that, but I don't know. I guess some people can't.
Yeah, and that's so weird to me because like
visualize a Clone Wars helmet, like without looking at the Clone Wars behind us. But I can think of it like right now, like just off a clone. Like I can think of it like as it was in the movies or like it was in the TV show.
Like, it's just, I don't know, because it also messes with my memory sometimes. Because like because it'll also be like, okay, if I'm in this situation, because like I also have pretty bad anxiety. So I think that's kind of where my imagination kind of makes it worse, is because I can really envision myself being in that horrible situation, and then it'll just make the anxiety worse.
Yeah, there's no bueno. Let's talk about memory for a second.
Yeah.
I said, how does memory work?
Okay.
Yeah, we got to land the plane because it's getting later, but in the day. But the intrinsic process of memory involves several stages: encoding, storage, and retrieval. So this is just like a device, right?
Yeah.
Encoding, this initial stage where information is acquired and processed. It involves transforming sensory input like sight, sound, or smells into a neural code that the brain can understand and store. That's crazy that we take in all this information. I touch this wall, and so that gets encoded into my brain of I touched the wall. This is what it felt like.
Yeah. And then stored. And then if I was to think about what did that feel like, it would retrieve the information. Yes. And then that makes you think about like AI becoming sentient.
Yeah.
Because like it's a very similar, like almost thought process.
Fucking AI. Different types of memory: sensory memory, short-term memory, long-term memory, factors that affect memory. Attention, paying attention to information is crucial. Rehearsal, doing it over and over again helps you strengthen it. Emotional significance, things that are emotionally touch us, obviously remember them better. Organization, that can help. Sleep, adequate sleep is essential for memory consolidation.
I feel like that explains a lot about you.
Me?
Yeah.
What about me? Why you always want to get personal? Let's go, dumb blonde. Let's try this. No, I'm playing.
That's a harmful stereotype, and you need to stop it.
Yeah, so is whatever you finna throw at me. What was you finna say about me and my memory? No, go ahead. Talk this shit.
Horrible memories.
I remember that you're pissing me off. No, here's weird. My short-term memory is worse than my long-term memory, right?
Yeah.
I can lose my wallet and have no memory of what I did with that wallet the whole day. A week would go by and I feel like I could tell you what I did with the wallet. Like,
yeah, it's so weird because I'm the same way.
Does short-term and long-term memory get stored in a different place? All right, we're almost done, guys. I think we've done a fun show, though. I've learned a fuck ton of shit this whole time. So if somebody's hung with us, you've probably learned with us. No, short-term and long-term memories aren't stored in specific separate physical locations in the brain. Instead, they rely on complex network of neurons and their connections known as synapses. Short-term memory is thought to involve the activation of neural circuits in the prefrontal cortex and other brain regions. It's a temporary state, and information can be lost if not actively maintained or transferred to long-term memory. So I guess shit that isn't worthy of us to remember gets lost, and then I think our brain struggles trying to figure out how much of this shit we need.
Yeah. Because I mean, if you think about how long you've like existed, you're not going to need every second of that.
Yeah, and apparently our brains are doing a whole bunch of shit. Like our brains are like zoning out a ton of shit, like constantly. Oh, yeah.
Like we technically see our nose, but we just...
Ain't that wild? Every time I look at my big old nose, I'm like, damn, you take up half the damn vision here. But then I don't never see my nose. It's like I don't know. There's no physical boundary separating short-term and long-term memory storage. The difference lies in strength of duration of neural connections. As memories become more consolidated, they transition from short-term to long-term storage. It seems like a good place to end it. Man, we've learned a lot today.
Yeah. A lot about a lot of different things.
A lot of different things, yeah.
And I think you unlocked a new fear about AI today.
Oh my gosh. When AI gave us the list of how it was going to do it, I got a little nervous. I cannot lie. But then we also just proved you could sit around and just learn from AI. We just learned for like over an hour. We just sat around and just learned new shit.
Yeah.
So there you have it. I don't know. I'm torn. This has been Olivia Blackmon, my cousin. Anytime we hang out, there'll be a new episode. So that's just what it is. And we appreciate you tapping in for the channel. Like, share, subscribe, do all that cool shit. Go to my shorts page if you want to see the clips. And I'm on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff, posting constantly. So y'all tap in. We appreciate you and we love you. Y'all have a blessed day. We are done.